What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Commodity Hot C, and today we are covering WWE Monday Night Raw from September 4th, 2023, live in Charlotte, North Carolina. Can't believe it's Labor Day, school is back in session, and the year is almost over. And we start out this episode of Raw with Jey Uso. He comes out through the crowd. Jey says, I've been fighting with my family for months until I got a call from Cody Rhodes, and Main Event Uso is now in your city. I know I made some enemies, but I am here now. Sami Zayn comes out. Sami says, this is about you and me. I want to look you in the eyes and tell you I am happy you are here. I know you in your heart. I'm happy you're here. Sami and Jey then hug each other, and it looks as if with Kevin Owens out of the picture, Sami Zayn has a new person to be by his side. I really hope they don't automatically pair Jey up in a team with Sami because he just got out of a team with Jimmy, but Sami has someone backing him up and Jey has someone backing him up. So there you go. Before the next match happens, Matt Riddle and Drew McIntyre come out on the stage and they stare down Jey Uso. Jey did say he has some enemies, and Riddle and McIntyre are definitely his enemies. Our first match tonight, the Tornado Tag Team match. Matt Riddle and Drew McIntyre taking on the Viking Raiders with Valhalla. And this was a decent match, a lot of action. Kofi Kingston runs out and attacks the Viking Raiders, but he accidentally hits Matt Riddle with a Trouble in Paradise. And then the Viking Raiders nail Ragnarok through a table and get a 3 count. So McIntyre accidentally hurt Xavier Woods last week. Kofi Kingston accidentally hurting Matt Riddle this week. Is something going on here? We'll have to find out. We have the world champion Seth Rollins coming out. Seth says at Payback, Shinsuke Nakamura did everything he said he would do. I beat Nakamura, but at the end of the night, he walked out of the building while my wife wheeled me out in a wheelchair. Nakamura comes out. Seth says, let's have a world title rematch right now. Nakamura speaks Japanese, and Rollins says, I can only assume you're accepting my challenge. And Nakamura says, no. Rollins says, I'm confused. Are we going to have a rematch? Nakamura says, no. But that's not enough for Seth. Seth and Nakamura brawl on the ramp. Security separates them, but Nakamura hits Seth Rollins in the back. Ricochet runs out and he attacks Nakamura, and we get Ricochet versus Nakamura. Nakamura hits Ricochet in the back with a steel chair, which then causes a DQ win for Ricochet. Nakamura then puts the chair over Ricochet's neck, but Seth Rollins runs down and dives onto Nakamura and security on the floor. Nakamura then pushes Rollins back first into the steel steps. So Nakamura gained the advantage again over Seth Rollins, pushing him in the steps, hurting his back. And Rollins is the world champion, but for how much longer can he continue to take this onslaught, the behind the back attack from Nakamura? We'll have to find out. Next, Judgment Day come out to the ring. Balor says, Dominic, congrats on your 1 year. And Judgment Day, he thanks Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. He then thanks JD McDonough for having his back for 20 years. And then Balor thanks himself for being a Grand Slam champion. Rhea says, Finn, Damian, you boys rose to the occasion and showed we truly are a family. Judgment Day has risen to be the most dominant faction in WWE. And then Damian Priest says, with all this gold, but before he can continue, JD McDonough interrupts him. JD says, the way I see it, I took a bullet for you. Rhea, you said big changes are needed in Judgment Day. That case needs to go, bro. You don't need that case. You need this one. And then JD McDonough gives Damian Priest a purple Senior Money in the Bank briefcase. It actually looks nice. Sami then comes out and says, it took all 5 of you to rob us of our titles. I see 5 giant champion stealing turds. Dominic, you're the biggest turd. Dom, do you want to do this right now? And before Dom can answer the challenge, JD McDonough says, Dominic's not fighting tonight, but I will. We then get a promo from the Green Third. Judgment Day looks good, by the way. I don't know if JD McDonough's going to join, but it looks like he should. He's been helping them out. He presents Priest with that new briefcase. I kind of like it. It looks cool. It definitely fits Priest, so it's interesting. We then get Shayna Baszler versus Zoe Stark. Baszler gets the win after applying the Karafuda clutch, and Stark passes out. Decent match for Shayna. She might be rising to the ranks of the Raw Women's Division. New Day or Judgment Day are backstage, and McDonald's brought up, and Rhea says, "We'll see how he does tonight." And she tells Dominic Mysterio after Finn Balor and Damian Priest leave the room to make sure things go according to plan tonight. So, what does she mean? Raquel Rodriguez then defeats one half of the women's tag team champion Chelsea Green after a Tijuana bomb. And then after the match, Raquel grabs the mic and says that next week she will fight Rhea Ripley for the women's title, and Dominic is banned from ringside. So obviously another member is going to come out, but that's what's going to happen. We see Matt Riddle, Drew McIntyre, and Kofi Kingston argue backstage, and McIntyre thinks Kofi did the Trouble in Paradise on purpose. I don't know. We then get the Miz TV segment where Miz brings out John Cena, who is a complete, you can't see him, so there's no one there. So the camera follows nobody. He runs down the ramp, and the Miz talks to John Cena. He pretty much mocks John Cena, and he gives Cena the skull crushing finale and says he will fight LA Knight again. Great work from the Miz. It looks like the Miz and John Cena are headed on a collision course, and I'm excited to see it. Good segment here. We then see JD McDonough defeat Sami Zayn after Dominic distracts Sami and JD rolls him up. After the match, Sami attacks Dominic until JD McDonough makes a save and gets taken out by Sami. So uh, Sami is getting the advantage over here, but it looks like Judgment Day keeps on making it up. We then see Dominic Mysterio confront Jey Uso backstage, and he tells Jey that he has no family and no one likes him. But since the Judgment Day has started, they've become a family. I'll talk to them. They're always open arms for you, Jey Uso, and the Judgment Day. Can Jey Uso join the Judgment Day? I don't know. And then we get our final match tonight, the Intercontinental Champion Gunther defending against Chad Gable. Chad has his whole family at ringside. This is a good match, a lot of action here. Gunther got the victory after a sleeper hold, a power bomb, and a clothesline. And Gunther retains. Chad Gable's daughter starts crying. It was such a terrible moment for American Alpha. But Gunther with his victory becomes the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, defeating Honky Tonk Man. Over 35 years, that has been the record, with Honky Tonk Man being the number one longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, and history was made. So decent night of Raw, a lot of action. I'm looking forward to the next storylines. We got SmackDown coming up, and we did find out that someone from Raw will be traded to SmackDown since Jay moved over to Raw. Who will that be? We'll have to find out this Friday on SmackDown. I want to thank you guys for checking me out. Stay safe and stay uncensored. Bye.